Hello and welcome back to the channel. So still in Pisa, and just was checking out all the old architecture and stuff, and a piece of an old building there. But today we're going to do a walk along the wall, and we have one of the entrances that I've come across. They only open at 10 o'clock, so still a few minutes to wait. You can see the tower in the background there. It's got the flag on top today. I didn't notice that the other day. So they have got a bit of a reception area with bits and pieces you can see there. There's even a book with Putin's picture on it with a red bloody hand mark on his face. I'm not sure what that's all about. So yeah, in a bit I'll do a little bit of a video on the inside. And then it's €5. I think you can walk quite far on the top of this wall. Yeah, I'll have to see what the story is. So yep, it's just gone 10 o'clock, so I'm going to go inside, pay my ticket, and then I'll do a bit of a video of the inside of the place and continue up. I'm guessing there's steps or something going up there. I didn't realize this wall was as thick as it is, but you'll see what I mean in the next part of the video. Right, so this is the inside of the wall, and that's what it looks like. This gives you an idea just how enormous this wall is. There's even defensive positions in case anyone breaches the first part. You can also purchase your mugs and tumblers and other things, yeah. There's a bit of literature here. I think this one is made out of clay. And some art. Something about 1970, not sure what that's about. That's that book I mentioned before. This one's also like a slate. I don't want to be turning the pages too much, I don't want to damage it. So yeah, that's the first part of the wall. That's the reception area. There's like a tower or something at the top of these bits. Not sure what that's all about. They have a lot of pictures here of the wall, just to give you an idea of what it's all about. So it goes along for quite a distance. In the one direction you end up by the cathedral and the tower, and the other direction you eventually end up by the river. It's about a 2-kilometer walk. You can exit once for an hour and they will sign your ticket. You can go back in. There's 3 or 4 entry and exit points. This is all part of the wall. That just gives you an idea how thick this wall is. I bet you there's hidden caverns and stuff all over the place. I wonder if there's any hidden treasure. But yeah, they've got like various sort of books and things here that you can look at, all artwork and so on. This one has got the bits cut out of the pages, like. Pretty random stuff. Someone went to town with a blade and cut some of the text out of that one, or I don't know what the idea is, but yeah. It's some kind of art, I guess. So yeah, just having a look what all these tunnels are within the wall. Exit is there, so this just gives you an idea how thick this wall is. This is an emergency exit here, and that's the main entrance on that side, where that dog's coming in there now. So that's how big this wall is. Not sure if you're supposed to go in here. I don't think so. Oh, this is the toilet, right. So we're going to go up the steps and check it out. Looks like there's more stuff here on display. So yeah, I would say this wall is mostly hollow. But you know, you've got thick walls within the wall. It's just crazy. Artwork on cats. A random book that has exploded. Someone read it too hard or something. That is just like a collection of books, so you can just spin this carousel around and read them as you go, I guess. Yeah, a lot of mold in the corner there. But again, they've got like these vents, I guess, to let the moisture out. And then we've got more tunnels going around the place. Down there, one down there. And that one has got a door that leads to the outside, or a window actually. Is it a window? That's locked. Yeah, it's like a small door. I've got a duck to walk here, except this bit. Oh man, I just dinged my head on the side of this here. I've got to walk with my head down here. This can't be more than 5.5 to 6 feet high. There's a window to the outside, which looks like it's got moisture on it. And the weeds are getting out of hand here. So yeah, there's all sorts of nooks and crannies within the wall. Right, let's get to the steps then. And get to the top of it. Being a Sunday, church bells are ringing quite a bit. When I was having breakfast in the hotel, church bells nearby started ringing. The neighbourhood dog started singing along. Well, more like howling. So yep, we're climbing to the top of the wall now. And then we've got to make a decision. Do we go left or right? Oh, there's a lift. Okay, so it's just in case. So they have ramps in case you are wheelchair bound. They're to cater for disabled people. This is my first time on the wall of Pisa. Prison bars, fancy ones. So these are these vents that I keep seeing. I guess they could also be for light. We're not at the top of the wall yet. We're still getting there. But just imagine it goes from there to there. This part of it anyway. I don't think all of it's like that. Just certain sections where they've got bits built in. Oh, they've got a chair lift here. You can see the gears along the railing here. So they've totally catered for everyone here. Right, up we go. This is the rooftop of this place where I was inside. Alright, now we're getting there. We're getting to the actual wall. Right, this bit's not part of the wall then. It's a bit deceiving when you walk in there. The thickness of the wall is actually from here to there. So left, you go towards the river, that's about 2 kilometers. Church bells ringing there. I went into that church just now. Beautiful marble church. And to the right you end up by the tower and the cathedral. Another bell tower there, another one in the distance there, there's one here. And the police sirens are accompanying the church bells at the moment. So I'm going to head to the right. So here we are, walking the wall. That's where I was down below just now. Now I'm looking down at all the peasants. I've paid my £5. So let me get the fingers out of the way because I have a habit of getting my fingers in the picture, forgetting that this is a wide lens on there. So you can see the streets of Pisa below. Football stadium on the right. The old city wall. That tower looks like it's leaning quite a lot. Apparently it's about €7 to go up there, and they allow a group of 35 people at a time, but you've got to wait until obviously the other 35 people have come down, so there can be quite a queue there. And I'm guessing being a Sunday it's going to be very busy, you know, being a weekend. But yeah, what defences, eh? A wall this high. Who's going to scale this in medieval times? Oh, that scooter's been standing there a while by the looks of things. Another bell tower there. There's a lot of churches in the city. I would say this would be a little bit rough perhaps for a wheelchair, with these sort of slabs and gaps in between them. It's a bit uneven, but not much more uneven than a lot of the streets and pavements I've been riding on the bicycle that I hired yesterday, which I noticed the pedals were disintegrating on it. Not my fault, I didn't break them. I brought it back this morning. The guy didn't say anything, he was just happy to get the key for the lock back. For the rest, he didn't even look at any damage on the bike or whatever. The bell was missing. Would have been handy to have a bell. You can see people walking on different levels of the tower. I'm going to check that out later. I'll leave the best until last. But we'll get a view of it from the wall today. We'll come past the outdoor market that I visited yesterday. I mean, look at these magnificent trees here. All the green Isn't that beautiful? I haven't had any regrets at all about coming here so far. It's been fantastic, the weather's been great. Birds are singing. What more can you ask for? Looks like I was just going to say, I got this wall to myself, but I see other people coming in the distance. So there's the cathedral and the tower. It must be a weird feeling being on top of that, and it's like at a funny angle. So just pointing the camera away from people in case they don't want to be filmed. But yep, I think I'm going to feel it at the end of today after this walk. No more bicycle. To be honest, the bike paths are confusing here because you've got some along the road, like there for instance. I think that's a cycle lane. Then they disappear, then it goes onto the pavement and there's like a faded picture of a bicycle on the pavement to indicate you have to ride there, and then you're back on the road again. It's very random and confusing at times. They don't have proper bike lanes and stuff like that all over the city, but you know, being an old city like this, I suppose it's difficult, and I found parts of the roads are quite bumpy, but the guy did overdo it with the bicycle. He put loads of air in the tires. There you can see the mountains in the background. Fantastic. I could see those from the other tower that I was in yesterday. Right, now they've put railing here, much higher up. I don't know why. Maybe they don't want people to throw stuff over the edge, who knows. Some renovations going on here. So there's the tower. Plenty of people holding their hands up, pretending to hold the tower up. So I'm not going to do that. Otherwise it's the same as everyone else. And then I've got to get someone to take a picture while I pose like that with my hands in the air. So yeah, I'll check it out later. Close up, we'll go and have a look at that. So that's the cathedral. Apparently it's also about €7 entry if you want to get into that. And then they've got this dome behind it. And another building. Saw it on the map yesterday what all these buildings were called. As I said, my memory's terrible. But yeah, this, like I said before, when you see pictures of this, it's not the same as being here in real life, or even videos of this. It's just so enormous. Oh, there's the train you can catch to get a tour around the city. I'm not sure how much that costs. Weather's already warming up. I don't know why why they only open at 10, because it's already getting quite warm outside by then. I was hoping to get an earlier start, but yeah, no matter. We'll come across a gate here. Right, I'm going to cut the footage there. Those video clips get too long, and then I'll continue again. Right, here we go. So this, it looks like they can lock it up to restrict entry only to certain parts. I think this building's also part of this whole lot here. Man, I mean, just look at those trees there. How amazing. Amazing views from up here. Right, we have scaffolding here. I'm amazed by these trees, how the stuff just grows on the top of them. Must be awkward to trim those. At least the scaffolding's about 7 feet, so I can fit underneath it, just. We're going to do a 90-degree turn. I think I got this wrong today. I should have gone to the other end of this wall and started from there, because now I've got to walk all the way back to my starting point to see the rest of it. But anyway, I just go with the flow. Like, there's that lion on top there. Oh, and there's that school, closed on a Sunday actually, where the aircraft are, which I got kicked out of yesterday. The guy was quite good about it. He said, you know, I asked him, can I take photos of the planes, and he said yeah, but you're not supposed to be in here, it's a school. There is some kind of sign there, but it's all in Italian, so how was I supposed to know? Right, here we got a defense tower, which is all locked up. No entry to that. This also looks like it's, I don't know, it's an optical illusion, or is that also sinking into the ground on the left? Also looks a bit scary. Alright, this is one of the stairways to get into the tower, into the wall I mean. That's why I'm seeing people coming out of there. So yeah, this is the end where the market is down below. We'll see what we can see of that in a minute. There's a graveyard down below, which I could see over the wall yesterday when I looked. I'm guessing there's some pretty old graves there. See, this type of thing you don't really see when you're walking around, because people are always on that side of the wall. You can sort of see it from the marketplace there. I did notice this yesterday. I didn't notice that it was this big. I didn't realize it was this big. Sounds like that copper is after someone again. So there's the cathedral from the other side. And interestingly, this building, the front part of it is marble, the rest brickwork, but those tiny thin bricks. So yeah, like a combination of stuff like that built it over time. This lion is missing its tail. It's looking rather withered. It's also got a couple of what look like bullet holes in it. It's been through the wars. Part of the rib cage has been chewed off. Right, so there we can see all the peasants below. It's a weird looking lion, it doesn't have a neck. So today I'm like royalty because I'm up top of the wall, whereas the peasants are all down below. The Mura di Pisa. Lion and Jewish cemetery. Alright. The proud gaze of the lion was meant to strike fear into the hearts of anyone entering the eponymous gate, the main entrance into Pisa in the Middle Ages. The sculpture was once housed in a niche on the tower of the same name. During Florentine rule, the tower was cut down, and the lion moved and turned to face inwards to underline the city's submission. Right. The Jewish cemetery can be seen in the area below. It was established in 1674 and is still in use to this day. It is a historical document reflecting 4 centuries of history of Pisa's millenary Jewish community. Okay, so that explains the lion. And like I say, it's facing inwards as a sign of submission. Those are those 2 weird statues there of dogs or something. Greyhounds racing. Ancient pieces of timber to sit on. Right, okay, so it's a Jewish cemetery. Looks quite old. So that's where I was yesterday, where the entrance to the marketplace is. So let's go and check that out, see what it looks like from above. All the vendors selling their trinkets and things. The cop car is still parked there. That seems to be a permanent thing. And then, as in the last 90-degree bend, there's some kind of defensive tower. Hopefully my fingers are not appearing in the side of the camera. It's getting to be a bad habit. Oh, we can go into this one. We'll explore it and see what it's like. Alright, we've got wooden beams, roof is missing. We've got some kind of foliage growing underneath this glass here. So yeah, the trees are growing up from below by the looks of things. No flag on the flagpole today. Timbers are quite old, I reckon. Looking weathered. So yeah, it doesn't really look like a defensive position as such. There's no archery slots or anything in the walls. Who knows what the story is with this. Maybe there was a floor where those beams are and they were standing on that to defend this part. Bells are ringing. So here we are, looking down at all the peasants. The royalty that's paid £5 to be on top. And they're all going through the marketplace. It's looking quite busy today. Yeah, I reckon this wall must be, I don't know, 10 meters high, maybe a bit more. Fire in the distance. Right, that's what people are waiting to hear, is the bells. Right, it looks like we've reached the end of the road. Right, there's the marketplace where I was yesterday, where you can buy all your trinkets and whatnot of Pisa, mainly to do with the Leaning Tower. Flag post again, no flag on it. Pisa de Miracoli stands on what in the early Middle Ages had been marshalled outside the older city walls. After the year 1000, Pisa became a powerful maritime republic. chalking up a number of significant military successes, establishing a flourishing trade throughout the Mediterranean and rivaling Genoa and Venice.
Bevu sufficientemente.
For dominance of the seas. From 1063 onwards, Pisans began to build the imposing cathedral of Santa Maria Assunta, which was consecrated in 1118. It was followed by the baptistry, the leaning tower, built in stages over 2 centuries, and the monumental cemetery. The walls embrace and protect these architectural wonders, miracles, as Gabriel D'Annunzio called them in his novel Maybe Yes, Maybe No. Andrea spun in the sky of Christ over the meadow of miracles. So that's a bit of a story about it. So rigging out this end of the wall, marketplace, and that is the main attraction up there. So we're now going to take a walk down to the river. Let's do it.